watching. To make these little Mary Jane shoes for baby, you're going to use an Aran weight 4 yarn, and the size of hook you'll use depends on the size you want to make. So for 0 to 3 months, you'll use a 3mm C or 11 hook. For 3 to 6 months, you'll use a 3.5mm E or 9 hook. And for 6 to 12 months, you'll use a 4mm G or 7 hook. I've left details of all the measurements, sizing, hooks and other materials needed in the description box below. It's worth your while, once you make the sole, measure it, and if your measurement varies to mine because your tension and your gauge differs, just use a different sized hook, either smaller or larger, to get the desired size you're wanting. Let's get started. To begin, make a slip knot and chain 10. And then into the third chain from the hook, we're going to make 2 double crochets. So yarn over hook, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Once more, yarn over your hook, insert hook into the chain, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next 6 chains, we're going to make 1 double crochet into each. And then into the final chain, we're going to make 6 double crochets. Next, we're going to mirror what we did on this side and make 6 double crochets, 1 each into the next 6 chains. If you're not quite sure where to put your hook, give your work a little tug, and do you see how those little gaps open up? That's where you're going to put your hook. And 6. Into the same place that we made our first 2 double crochets, we're going to make another 2 to finish off. And at the end of round 1, you should have 22 stitches, and it's always worth double checking to make sure you're on the right track. And then to join, you ignore the starting chain, and at the top of the first stitch into the V, you slip your hook underneath, yarn over, pull through and pull through, and that's you closed your round with a slip stitch, and that's round 1 done. For round 2, start by chaining 2 and then into the first stitch at the base of the chain, to the left if you're right-handed and to the right if you're left-handed. We're going to work 2 double crochets. And into the next stitch, we're also going to work 2 double crochets. Then 1 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. Whoops. You can tell what a good crocheter I am. The amount of mistakes I make. Not to worry. Right, did I do 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. Right. Into the next 8 stitches, we're going to make 2 double crochets into each. So we're making a few increases. So that's 2 double crochets into each of the next 8 stitches. Now let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then again, mirroring the other side, we're going to make 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Now, where the starting chain joins the body of our work, that doesn't count as a stitch. So we've got 2 stitches remaining, and into each of those stitches we're going to make 2 double crochets. And that's round 2, and now you should have 34 stitches. So have a wee double check, and then again to join, ignore the starting chain, go to the first stitch, the V at the top, slip your hook under, yarn over, slip through, and there we are, round 2 done. Round 3, we're going to start by chaining 1, and then we're going to make single crochets all the way around, no increases, no decreases. We're just going to work into the back loops. So you see we've got the front loop and we've got the back loop, and we're just going to work into the back loop. So 1 single crochet into into each stitch. If I put my hook in properly, it would help. All the way round, and I'll meet you towards the end of this round. Coming up to the end of the round, again, remember that the starting chain where it meets the body of our work doesn't count as a stitch. So we've got 2 stitches left. So I'll just do the single crochets into the back of them. And then we join again, top of the first stitch, slip your hook under the V, yarn over, pull through and pull through. And you see, because we worked just into the back loop, we've got this nice little ridge. So the next round, round 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, and then we're going to make a single crochet into every stitch around, this time working through both loops. So I will meet you towards the end of this round. So coming up to the end of round 4, remember that where our starting chain meets the body of our work doesn't count as a stitch. So we've got 2 stitches left, and we'll make a single crochet into each, and then join with a slip stitch. And our stitch count remains the same. We've got the 34 stitches. We've not made any increases or decreases. For round 5, we're going to change colour. Or you can make it all in one colour, it's up to yourself. So if you are changing colour, get your new colour of yarn and just pop it over your hook and pull through, and then pull through the yarn, or pull on the yarn we're leaving behind, and then just hold on to the old yarn and the tail of the new yarn with your finger to keep it steady, and then chain 2. To begin, we're going to make a double crochet into the first stitch of the round, which as usual is at the bottom of the starting chain. Looks a little different because you can see the old colour that we're leaving behind. Now into that first stitch, into the back loop only, you want to work a double crochet. And then into each of the next 5 stitches, you want to work 1 double crochet for a total of 6 double crochets, 1 each into the first 6 stitches of this round. Now, I can't speak and count at the same time, so let's see. Ignore the starting chain, that doesn't count as a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There we go. And then into each of the next 5 stitches, again back loops only, we're going to work single crochets. And 5. Next we're going to make 6 double crochet decreases. So to make those, yarn over hook, Oh, and we're making them just into the back loops only again. So yarn over hook, insert your hook into the back loop of the stitch, yarn over, pull through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over hook, insert your hook into the back loop only of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now you've got 2 stitches on your hook, yarn over, pull through, and there you are. That's you made a double crochet decrease. So we're going to make another 5 of these. We'll work one more together. So yarn over hook, and it's back loops only. Insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert hook into the back loop only of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all, and that's you made another double crochet decrease. So make another 4 of those. One, two, three, four, five, six. So there we are. We've made our 6 double crochet decreases. And then next we're going to make 5 single crochets, 1 each in the next 5 stitches, back loops only. There we are. And then into the 6 remaining stitches, we're going to make 6 double crochets, 1 each into each stitch, remembering to work into the back loops only. So remember, where the starting chain meets the body of our work doesn't count as a stitch. We've got 1 stitch left. And at the end of this round, we'll have 28 stitches, so worthwhile checking. And then to join, ignore your starting chain at the top of your first stitch, slip the hook under the V and slip stitch to close. And then we will, if I get my scissors, cut off that first colour. Do not cut off the colour you're working in now. And then I'll sew in my ends and meet you back for the 6th and final round. For the 6th and final round, start by chaining 1 and then into the stitch at the bottom of that starting chain, make a half double crochet and make a half double crochet, 1 each into the next 4 stitches. So that's a total of 5 half double crochets, 1 each into the first 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Make a single crochet into the next stitch and then work a chain of 16. 14, 15 and 16. Now into the 6th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, make a slip stitch and then make slip stitches in each of the chains back down to the body of our shoe. Okay, and then into the next stitch in the body of the shoe, make a single crochet and then another 4 single crochets. Just need a bit more yarn. How many have I made? 1, 2. There, and that brings us to where we made our double crochet decreases in the previous round, and in this round we're going to make double crochets again, double crochet decreases again. This time we're going to make 3. So I like to pull the loop on my hook fairly tightly for this, and then insert, and I'll remember how to make it. Pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, pull through 2 loops, pull through them all, and you've got your double crochet decrease, and then make another 2. Perfect. And then we're back to our single crochets, and we're going to make 6 single crochets, 1 each in the next 6 stitches. And then into each of the last 4 stitches. Sorry, hang on, just let me double check there. Right, I did my double decreases, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, I made 7. I knew I was doing something wrong. Right, 6, because you want to have 5 stitches left to make 1 half double crochet into each. There we are, and that would be your right shoe done. But obviously you want to make a left shoe as well, so let me just undo this and I'll show you the left shoe. So you start off just the same way for the left shoe. You work 5 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if we get back down to it, there. So 5 half double crochets, 1 each in the first 5 stitches, and then 6 single crochets, 1 each into the next 6 stitches. There we are. And again, that brings us up to our double crochet decreases from the row below, and this time we're going to make 3 double crochet decreases. We are. And now we want to make single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And next we're going to make another single crochet and then chain 16. So just as we did before, chain 16, slip stitch into the 6th chain from the hook, then slip stitch back down to the body of the shoe. That's another 10 slip stitches on the chain, and then make another single crochet. There's our single crochet back into the body of the shoe, and then in our last 5 stitches we're going to make 1 half double crochet into each. There we are. Now I'll show you how I like to finish off. You've maybe got a way you like to do it, and that's fine, you do you. So I will just find my scissors and my blunt ended needle, which I cannot see, and I'll be back. Phew, found it. Last time I misplaced this little beauty. I think it took me about a fortnight before I found it again. Right, snip off and pull through. And then using a blunt ended needle, because you do not want to split the yarn at this point, you go to, there's the first stitch of the round and there's the second, and under the 2 loops of the V at the top of the second stitch in this round, you insert your needle from the back of the shoe to the front and pull through, and then give it a wee shuggle and a wee pull, and then into the last stitch of the round, this time into the back loop only, again from the back of the shoe to the front. You pull through and then make sure that you've got it nice and neat how you want it. And then the way I like to finish off my ends is when I'm sewing them in, I use a pointy ended needle because I like to split the yarn, because I think it holds on to the ends better and they don't pop out nearly as much. Right, so making sure that I'm quite happy with how that looks, I will then just splitting the yarn, sewing my end, just like this. You know the drill. Do it in a few directions. Just to keep it nice and secure. There, 3 will do. Snip off. Now, to decide where to put buttons, what I do is I just experiment. So I hold my little shoe like this and I'll just pop it in and I'll think, does that look about right? Oh, do you know what? I think that does look about right. But you know, you might want to just fiddle about and hold it there and there and there. Anyway, once you're happy with where it is, I just pop this in so I know where I'm going. And then I get my wee button and my needle and my thread and I sew it on. And mind, sew it on really securely. You don't want the button of a baby shoe coming off. And then finally, I spritz the shoes with water. It's called blocking. So I spritz them with water and then I get a wee bit stuffing. I use some old cushion stuffing and I push it in and I push and I prod and I pull and on I go. And then I set them aside to dry. And at the end of that process, they hold their shape really nicely. And I shall just go and get the ones I did earlier. What have I done with them? See you in a minute. So just for contrast, here's one that I have blocked. And you see it just holds its shape nicely, whereas this poor wee sausage looks a bit skeevy to say the least. Anyway, I hope you'll have a go at making these lovely little boots. Sorry, lovely little shoes for your wee button. And I hope they turn out really well. Bye-bye just now.